our new Apocalypse World sessions. And it's called the Bitter Ends because I don't know if these guys are gonna screw or are gonna blow up this apocalypse and move on to another one when that could maybe possibly happen or not. But we're gonna start with this one. So we've got a couple of things that Apocalypse World has you do at the beginning of every session, which is fine and well. And that is we need to pick some highlighted stats. And to do that, the first thing you do is you figure out who's got you start by figuring out who's got the highest HX with your character, and they pick a stat to highlight. When they and then I pick a stat to highlight, and at any time during the session you use either of those stats, you mark an experience point, which is why this is the highlighting of stats is important. So with that said, I think we'll start off with Let Me Pop Stardust. Who has the highest HX with Let Me Pop Stardust? You have two, Castile. How much do you have? -2? Okay. And you are a little, and you are also a little low on the mic there, bud, volume wise. Um, all right. Who has the hide? So, Starlight, go ahead and pick a stat to highlight for Let Me Pop Stardust. Mm, all right. I think what I'm gonna do is I want to see cool. I know, right? um, that Castiel. Who has the highest HX with Castiel? All right. So let me pop. What stat do you want to highlight for Castiel? I can't hear you, man. I think uh, I think Chris is having some audio issues. Heard something for a second. Oh, I can hear him in the other room. There we go. Yeah, now we got you. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say I want to see you be weird. uh, so who has the highest HX with Starlight Finger Toes? And Castiel has two. Alright, so who's gonna pick the highlighted stat here? Alright, Castiel, pick a stat for Starlight to highlight.
I'm leaning towards cool.
You go with cool? I'm gonna go with sharp. Alright, so. Alright, so we're the world that we are in here, what we are seeing as per se is that we have. Let me see if I can adjust my screen a little bit here. Do what I need. Ooh, yay! I can. All right. So the apocalypse we're dealing with here is a watery world. It's a we're gonna call it Waveworld for lack of anything cooler. Um,
Waveworld 1, at least.
but these are the Waveworld sessions. So they episode one, Big Splash.
Big Splash Adventures at Waveworld.
Oh God. um, But we come in and we come in and we get the overhead shot of just like water. And maybe we get the panning shot. We get that like where the like maybe it's like the shot where like you're looking down at the water, but like the camera is moving along and kind of also drawing back up into the atmosphere a little bit as it does so. Um, and until it finally just sort of pans up to a like looking forward view over the sort of at the horizon, and we see a ship heading. We see a ship on the blue, and it's the only ship that we see on this large patch of water. And let's get a description of that ship, Lemmy Pop.
It looks like a tugboat has been converted into a frigate. It's got extra pieces of armor on it and a whole bunch of old tires. And it has a sail for some reason. You're not sure how. And a big a big pillow of black smoke coming out of it.
All
It's
right.
not necessarily the engines at the moment. It's just I have a little fire going because I'm cooking.
Alrighty.
Sound
Um,
good?
yeah, sure. And what is like? And let's get a description of Lemmy Pop himself. Like, what does Lemmy Pop look like?
Okay. So, I'm dressed in a brown suit for some reason, and I have two different cowboy boots on. One red and like with the silver tip toe and all of the extra stuff on it, the glitter and all that. And then the other one is like a brown work boot, and I have this crazy metal backpack on, and yeah, a red shirt that has like part of like some long forgotten comic book character on it, but not much.
All right, cool. I'm going to assume that Castiel is probably on this boat with you.
That
Um,
makes sense.
but
I
since
have my
he,
leash
yeah, I was gonna say since he has your leash, let's
at the moment.
at the moment let's get a description of Castiel.
Well, it's got long hair at least. Just like kind of like a suit that's kind of tattered and whatnot. And then it's kind of looks like an overcoat, but it's white overcoat. It's not like a lab coat, but kind of like a lab coat type thing.
Is it furry
Mm.
or like
No,
it used to be furry?
it might have been like it got frayed off and it's got patches missing and whatnot.
Right. So you're dressed like a pimp. I love it.
Sure.
uh, right on. And at the moment, like, and we kind of like we see you guys kind of doing whatever it is you're doing on the ship. We get like that moment. Um, and
Oh no, that's why it's pillowing black smoke. It's because we're headed to Finger Toes to get her to fix it, right?
okay, sure, sounds good. So maybe with that we get like the pan around view, or we kind of like come up behind the boat, and we kind of like looking from behind the boat towards the horizon now, and we kind of see off in the distance the remains of a derelict oil rig that's just like it's kind of like partially destroyed, but there's enough of it left And I'll let Starlight describe her what remains her like partially destroyed oil rig that she has her workshop on.
Yeah. Do you want the outside or the inside?
Let's get an external first, since we're starting with this is where the camera shot's at.
Okay. So it's definitely like a lot of it has fallen into the water. You can tell that it's a mess. Um, there's paint, like there are big murals that have been painted on it. Um, and let's see, there's also a small boat outside, like real small. Um, and it's just messy. It's messy and creative and chaotic and very
Is it
small.
Shantytown built on top of the remains? So you got like pieces of wreckage from other ships that are like holding things together so that they don't
Yeah,
fall apart and all that. Nice.
yeah, totally. And there's like the parts that have fallen off into the water. There's still some foundation there. So there's like a lawn chair out there, and there's also an awning. So
I
it's
love the fact that there's a random lawn chair on just a pillar out in the middle of the ocean.
yeah, it's definitely like just the place to hang when you want to find some space.
Right. All right. Cool. Cool. So maybe we kind of get like we cut away from this sort of like external scene and we jump forward just a little bit to where Lemmy and Castiel, you're sort of like pulling up to this derelict oil rig. Like, how do you go about like? Do you just have a normal place you dock? Is there a protocol of like letting her know that you're here, or what's how does this look? What does this look like?
Whenever I think that we're about within sound distance, I start playing my guitar. So when that happens, I literally like reach into the backpack and the backpack slides off and turns into this cool guitar shape
Okay,
and I start playing.
awesome. So maybe then we jump to sort of like inside the oil rig, and now you can kind of give a descriptor of the inside of the oil this rig, your workshop, and a description of Starlight as well, as we see Starlight in her workshop, starting to hear the strains of music coming from outside,
You want
So
me to roll for that?
muffled, but
Because I do cool shit.
uh,
um, so she is Starlight is let's start from the top down. She has a black leather aviator hat on with two horns that have been sewn onto the top. And there are also small baubles like buttons and safety pins and just junk. She has welding goggles that are on top of her head because she's not using them right now. She's got medium black
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we see you guys kind of like getting into like visual range. Uh,
All right. This is important because I'm
okay.
reading my stuff. All
Right.
right. So at the beginning of the session, I'm supposed to tell Castiel, who has my leash, whether they have to spend one, two, or three barter for my lifestyle. All right. Now the bonus for this is Castiel, we need to get the ship fixed. So I need you to spend three barter. Deal with it.
He's just like, oh god, he was all aboard until he said deal with it, and it's like, what the fuck,
No, no,
man?
no. It says
Yeah.
it says they have to. If they can't, it's
Oh,
not my
okay.
problem.
Oh, okay.
Just being the
That's awesome.
champion.
No, no, that's
Leash doesn't sound as great as it did last time I thought about it, but
Well,
okay, let's do the
if
whole barter thing then.
if I perform, then you have a chance of making up to 10 barters. So
all right. So, yeah, what does this? What does this look like as you are? So I guess that pretty much means that. Um,
it's Starlight gets three barter,
yep,
kind of.
kind of, yeah.
You need to spend one of it because life just happens.
Yep, everybody's got to spend at least one barter, except for Lemmy Pop Stardust, who his he somebody else spends buys his lifestyle. um, but yeah, you see Lemmy Pop and Castiel pulling up in their boat and what have you.
Right. I'm in the crow's nest playing my guitar. It sounds like something Ozzy would have played back in the day.
Nice.
By the day, I mean like the 70s. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, polar ice caps melted, all that.
Yeah, you know,
It rained for 40 days, but just days. At night, it didn't rain.
exactly. So, yeah,
At least that's what we've been told. At this point, I mean, it's all hearsay.
yeah, pretty much. So what does this look like? You showing up to get the ship repaired? Like let's have this conversation. Let's have this scene.
Are you? Wow. So it's this game. So the ship's pretty banged up. Uh,
I can
do you think you can
tell.
fix it? I've brought much gold.
Are we doing gold? That's not barter.
Uh, no, no, no. It's just barter. I
Okay.
just
Yeah.
said that because it's a line from another show. My bad.
Okay. Um. Yeah, man. I can do it. What's your barter? Like how much you got?
I have three barter for you. Well, Castile has your money. Good stuff. No, babe, I don't do the money. You know that. Castile's got that for you. Just
Right, right. So
he'll take
I'll look
care of
at
it.
Castiel and hold my hand out. No work, no play. So,
Uh, one of the pieces of barter is a bottle of wine.
oh, oh yeah, I'm excited.
Uh,
Right.
the cork hasn't rotted out from the seawater, so that's pretty cool. It's good stuff.
I could definitely use or trade. So, kind of stick it off to the side and hop on the boat, and maybe I've already hopped on the boat. Start poking
Right.
around.
We've definitely, tied the boat up to what's left of your. What is the name of your boiled Dara town shanty home?
It is toe fingers.
Toe fingers.
Toe fingers.
Toe fingers. Finger toes, toe fingers. Yeah, sure, yes. I forgot I was supposed to roll at the beginning of the session. I was supposed to roll plus weird. 27,
Ooh.
27 to 901. And that's when I have like proper tools. And no, do I just
You do.
roll open?
Oh, are you talking about bone feel?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the first cool
one.
roll of the night is a natural success. That's
Okay,
a
so I
12.
rolled 1 plus 4,
Nice.
so I rolled 2. And it says at any time, either you or the MC can spend your hold to have you already be there with the proper tools and knowledge with a method or explanation why. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
there you
in this
go.
space, so I would have that naturally.
Yeah.
I would
It just means that at
have.
some point during the game, if you don't happen to be here, they don't have to be here, and you need to be somewhere else. Or either you or I could just be like, spin a hold, and there you are.
I would also like to when I start messing with it, I want to use my playbook move, Think Speak. So
hmm
whenever you handle or examine something in your hand, roll plus weird, and I can
Okay.
ask you some questions.
All
Let's
right.
see. Let's see. On a 7 to 9, I get to ask one question.
All right.
Um, let's see. What's wrong with this and how might I fix it?
All right. So it's a good question. Your ship is powered by an old engine of sorts. Is it
Yeah, I assume
is
it's
it gas
powered
or
by.
is it gas or solar or is it? Yeah.
It's gas. That's what it
Okay.
also
Yeah.
has that we put on there that has the like even if the sail's catching lots of wind, it still takes 4 times as long to get somewhere with just the sail.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah, we probably also need to get filled up. So if she's got gas, that would be awesome.
it's
I
probably.
lost you, another martyr.
I think it's probably a thing where it's like the engine is not getting there's probably a problem with like the fuel line or the oil pan or something. It's probably I'm trying to think of what would make an engine like that smoke. It's probably oil. It's
An injector?
yeah, it's a good possibility. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll open up a hatch and I'll just kind of dive into it a little bit and
hmm
just start kind of poking around, and you see me comically throwing shit behind me that's unnecessary, and I'm muttering you don't need this. This is shit. And kind of looking at some stuff and tossing it. Uh just and then I'll be right back. I go into my space and I walk strategically to a specific pile of shit. And I look
Okay.
around in that shit and I find 2 or 3 injectors. And they're all different sizes, I mean, I have a pretty clear idea of which one I'll need, but you never know. It's like needing a 10 when you have an 11. So, uh, I pop back over the ship and kind of diddle with it a little bit, shove it in there, lock it all up, close the door, kind of give it a little bit of a kick. All right, start it.
Now let's see real quick here how you do on that. Let's get a sharp roll from you.
Oh,
Oh no. Yeah, it's
I was gonna say, can I help that? But no, I can't.
it no it jams up. This is gonna take a little bit more time than you thought.
okay, so I'll go back, grab another tool, maybe a different hose, come back, kind of keep digging with it again until I finally get it to maybe sputter a little better.
Right. This time you end up
Well, it's
taking it apart.
it's actually it's I think maybe it's more probably a thing where like the piece that you need to use is a little too big. Like you were saying, having the wrong size necessarily, and you don't have another piece like it. You're gonna have to take the time to grind this one down to specification to get it to make it work. So it's not so much that you can't. It's just gonna take more time than you expected.
Okay.
So, because you gotta do a workaround instead of being able to slap dash. This one actually is gonna make you do a workaround. So,
So
yeah.
I'll sneak back in and just like let them know you come in if you like. It's protecting your business to get this done.
So
I swim to the chair.
you swim out to the chair that you.
It's on a foundation. Like you can climb up the pole, but it's on it. It's technically still has a foundation. Like it's connected, but it's barely hanging on. Like it's
Alright, well then I
definitely
don't swim.
hazard.
There's no
You
need to
you
worry
could
about sharks.
just walk
Or the mutant giant fish that now swim in the sea.
right.
Oh, okay. So we just learned something new. There are giant mutant fish in this sea. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my
The
god,
Your desk.
they have three eyes and two noses.
who was that, Castillo?
They
Can't
don't.
touch
They
my
don't.
shit.
No,
Uh,
just sit at the desk.
Oh, okay.
you just go sit.
hey, look, half a Rubik's cube. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna see Castiel at the desk and be like, no, up, please, up. There's another chair, any other chair. You can't have this chair.
So, and I think this is probably
We'll let him wander aimlessly then.
is gonna wander around her workshop just kind of aimlessly. All
Go
right,
for it.
all right, cool.
Is there a fishing pole like right by
There
this
is
chair?
a fishing pole.
Cool. See, that would be. No, that's not right. What would that be? I don't have fish.
Fishing. I feel like. Let me see. I feel like that's probably probably either a sharp or a cool. I don't know.
Alright, well, in that case, I'm gonna go with cool. Because fishing's supposed to be relaxing, right? There you go.
Yeah, manage to you manage to catch something, small fish. Yeah, probably be a good little dinner for a couple of people.
Cool, cool. Alright, well, then I'll do that a couple of times so I have enough for surely three of us to be full. And that's what I'm doing for now.
All right,
She's working on the saying. She said it's gonna take a while.
all right,
And once I do catch enough, I guess then I'll go to her like little fire she's got going and start cooking.
all right.
I've totally got a kitchen. I mean, in like this day and age, it would not be considered a kitchen. Like it's ramshackle as fuck.
Right.
Well, no, in this day and age, it's considered a well-stocked kitchen.
It's true, yes, definitely. Like there's some spices, there's some stuff. It's everything's very open air because
Hmm.
there are hardly any walls. Like everything's just held together with hopes and dreams at this point.
Right.
Nice, nice.
And you have just enough plants to manage to keep some things awesome.
Right.
So I think this is probably about the time that we see another boat coming, or sort of coming in this direction. Uh, who is it, and what do they want? Starlight, it's your rig. Who might be coming in your direction? Is it another potential customer? Is it somebody who might be nomadic? Is it some like nefarious motherfuckers that try to fuck up your shit and steal things? Who is
Is it
it?
someone you've never seen before?
I
And if so, describe what they look like.
I want to say it's another client because I'd really like to have a few more barter, if possible. Do you want me to describe this person?
Oh well, give me a name. Who are they? All right. Let's.
Peg leg Fred.
So if that's actually what his name is, I look out and I'm like, I don't even see a boat. What are you talking about? All right.
Well,
Aha! The Jester got my Drop Dead Fred reference. Thank you.
Well.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Mhm. I don't know if I know this peg leg Fred. What about you, Castile? Castile, do you know peg leg Fred? Because I realize I'm still fishing when this happens.
you're like yelling
Who's
to peg
hollering at
leg.
me? Uh,
Uh,
I might have met once. I don't know. I run into a lot of people. I don't remember their names. I just make me feel better. It's possible.
all right. Well, then I guess we don't need to really worry so much about it. I keep fishing.
All right.
I'm still poking. I feel like I wouldn't even have actually. Yeah, because I'm very
Oh
impervious to
yeah.
water.
Well, no, you would have probably heard me
Well.
yelling at Castile just then.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of look up, look over. Huh. I wonder where they were.
So maybe. So I'm guessing
Don't
you.
worry. Don't.
So I'm guessing you've heard of Peg Leg Fred's boat, and that's how you know who Peg Leg. And that's how you know to ask about Peg Leg Fred.
Right. Yeah. It must be like some weird shade of paint that he found.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
He's got a
Fred drives
purple
pink
boat.
boat. Purple boat. Nice.
All right.
And it's like
Yeah.
royal purple.
Except of course because the apocalypse is sort of peeling back a little bit. It's a little bit faded. Yeah. So.
Still seeing spots of purple here and there.
No, I'm just saying it's a little peeling and fading. It's there. I'm not saying it's not. Well, I think peg leg. Is there a protocol that your other clients use? Since there's probably Lemmy Pop is probably the only one who introduces himself by playing a guitar.
Right, and he's my favorite client because he plays the guitar. They probably do like an "Ahoy, are you available?" or some shit.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Lots of yelling.
So like just yelling across the water. Yeah, there's probably like uh, uh greetings, greetings, and like
Hi, what's up?
yeah, he's kind of floating out there, floating. He's like, hey, you mind if I dock up?
I mean, what's going on?
I mean, it's just I've been out here for a minute.
Yeah, we've all been out here for a minute.
Just
Do you need something?
well, I figure information being worth something to people and whatnot. I probably talk for a bit.
Um, I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine. You can stay for a little while. I mean, long enough to get your bearings and move on. What kind of information do you have?
Trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Let me dock and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have weapons, Fred?
I don't know. You should.
There are. I do. I do have a weapon. It
Yeah,
is on my person, and yeah, that's fine. I'm good. Yeah, like, okay, come on.
yeah. So I I think peg leg probably is like he kind of he gets himself docked and he does the whole thing where he makes sure that you can see his hands as he comes aboard, whatnot.
Right.
And he's like, no funny, nothing funny going on. He goes, and I think he probably looks over at Castiel and Lemmy Pop, we've sort of established you guys don't personally know him or whatnot. He's like, are you, who are your friends?
They're just people that I work for, just like me.
Oh,
This is Castiel. The guy over on my back porch is Lemmy, Pop Stardust. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna continue working as we talk, but why don't you tell me what you know? And I'm still grinding away, just
it's about
knocking this thing into space.
yeah. I think he probably is kind of like sits closer and he's talking a little bit lower, a little bit more conspiratorial, and it's like figured you should know the road, the road. They're getting pretty aggressive about their territory, their space. Not haven't been allowing a lot of trade in and out. Uh, they've been kind of stretching. Seen some of them in waters not far from here. I don't know what they want. Have they bothered you any? Any? Duh.
No, like they usually most people keep their distance, so I haven't had any trouble, just clients.
Uh, yeah. Well, B is consider yourself a fair warned. They're seems like they're well. Let's just say that the guy that just took over, their current leader, has decided that all of us out here on the waves, we're a bit we're we're a bit too much of an unknown element, and that and you know I think they're after all the fuel they can get too.
Hmm.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, okay. Who's their new leader?
I don't know. They real mysterious. Real mysterious fellow. I believe they make sure I make a note of this too. I believe they call him Carrion Crow.
Hmm. Do you know what this guy looks like? I haven't seen him yet.
No, I haven't seen him myself either. Recently came to power. Just you know, uh, some sort of coup.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, how far out did you see them?
It's probably been a couple. It's not too awful far. Maybe a couple miles, 3, 5. Hard to tell, but close enough. I'd be worried about it.
Now I know information isn't free, so what do you want?
Well, figure the only way to get out and past these guys is I've been hearing that there's a carrier, an old carrier, one of them old warships that they had back in them olden days. Seems like there's a group that found that's got a carrier and they're sailing and they've been spotted in the region. I mean, with the roads being closed off for trade and trying to bring the unknown chaotic elements, as it were, back under their control and whatnot. I figured I'd check these guys out. You know, maybe they got something going on. You know, them carriers are supposed to be big ships, big enough to settle on if needs be. But
Castillo and Lenny a long time. Um, yeah.
this is,
We should probably tell my friends about this. I know we'll have to call Castiel. Castiel's probably close by. Surely he would have heard some of this, yeah?
well, I mean, maybe not all of it because he's been like Peg Leg is kind of trying to be conspiratorial. He's trying not to be overheard, but Castiel may still be close enough. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, I want to get Lemmy, so I'd be like, yo, Lemmy, how many fish did you catch?
Four.
That is perfect. Why don't you come in? I'll cook us up something. My friend Pegleg here has some very interesting information.
Hmm. Okay. Thump, 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 thump.
Right, so I'll ask Pegleg to relay all of that, and I'm gonna cook and listen to see if there's any more information other than what he's given me.
Um, as far as it goes, he doesn't know much more about it than what's the he says they're calling this carrier the Kraken's Crown,
Hmm.
and the like he this is a thing that he's been that he's pretty like everybody knows that say it being out on the seas is rough and it's dangerous and there is a large percentage chance of getting caught up by one of the giant mutant fish.
Hmm. Right,
Or
right.
storms, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, and then what is it? Sea madness.
true. Like just being out there, scurvy. Yeah, probably a good call. I mean, there's not a lot of places you can get like fresh fruit, and if the Rocky Road is closed off on trade, it makes it even more difficult.
And what was the group called again?
Which one?
You said the road is expanding their territory?
Yep, the Rocky Road.
The Rocky Road. Okay.
Which, for those of you who may not have seen Session Zero, is basically the tops of the Rocky Mountain. Um, because it's the only part of the that is above sea level in that area.
I feel like the Appalachian Mountains would also have some stuff, but it's almost like teeny tiny islands on either side of what used to be the United States.
Right. And I feel like maybe like your oil rigs explanation for the presence of it being still above waterline is probably to do with some of those last measures to try to continue to stay above the water. Um,
Right.
that like it was built after the flood, and probably a few structures like this were that were specifically meant to be like, hey, we're above water still, but probably failed.
Until they hit oil and jump. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Um, if you have a source of oil here, then that makes you a prime target if they're trying to get fuel.
Oh, well, I feel like there's no more oil, and
Right.
whoever would have pumped oil is no longer active. It's disappeared
Okay.
or it's maybe fallen into the ocean.
Okay.
It's just a structure. Like, I would
Oh,
be
okay.
down for that
All right.
too.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
But maybe that's like why it was there, because at one point it was sitting on a massive
Right.
oil reserve.
I mean, but that may be some of the inherent barter that you have is, some barrels of oil or something, just not like a processing thing. I guess. I get
Well,
you.
I have oddments for the six barter. I don't
Right.
know, would a barrel of oil be considered a barter
I
for
mean,
oddments?
Well, maybe not like maybe not even like a barrel, but maybe like a couple of like cans or something.
Hmm.
Like you'd use for your gas mower or something, like those plastic ones or whatever. But
So
yeah,
we've got the Rocky Road, and then Hawkins Crown is the warship, and that's a different group of people.
it's a different group of people.
Okay. Well, it's up to them what they'd like to do. I mean, I've got my little space here in the sun, so if I've got to go, I need a plan.
All right.
Well, till the boat's fixed, I don't think we can go there yet.
Speaking of, here's your part. Let me go put it in.
You got this. I'm not worried. You look like you know what you're doing. You're awesome.
Thank you. I like working for you.
And I think peg leg is probably like so about the about the barter.
Right, right. I'll feed you.
Hey, yeah, that works for barter in this day and age. Yeah. Like it still costs you a barter, but
Really? Okay.
yeah.
Use the oddments of
Yes,
battle.
yes, the oddments of barter. That's what that is. That's your because it's in Apocalypse World. It's not like money. It's trade, and barter is whatever people consider valuable, and what have you.
Okay. All right.
It's, uh, but yeah, I think Peg Legs like says I'm hoping I'll get some good trade. I'm hoping I'll get some good trade, with the Kraken's crown. Uh, so he's but let's you know what? There is an actual barter move. I'm trying to think. Where was that? Yes.
Lemmy caught the fish, and then I fed him the fish. Would I still take a barter? Since technically that was a thing that we created in the moment.
Except for the fact that he was only getting enough for three.
He rolled four for four fish. But okay, yes, okay.
So we can't hear you.
I said, yeah, but one of them was kind of small.
Okay.
Ah, okay, there we go. All right. Um, how is that there? I was actually looking for that so that I can. Because if there is a barter move, at some point I might actually want to use it. Okay, when you're going into a holdings bustling market looking for something particular to buy and it's not obvious whether you should be. Oh, okay. All right, I get that. Um, but yeah, I think after Peg Leg will probably hang out for a bit and eat and maybe exchange whatever like pleasantries or whatever. Um, Maybe whatever passes for gossip on the open sea with whatever seafarers are out there. I don't know how many people you guys know that are in sort of the same circles and what have you.
I feel like I would know a lot of people.
Probably.
Yeah, and I would know a lot of people since I make my living as a fisherman.
Right. Or at least a lot of people know you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I've been on a lot of boats. That's all I can tell you.
all right. So I think where you're at here is, after Peg Leg eats and finishes up, he probably goes back to his ship and he's like, hey, as he's leaving, he's like, wouldn't stay too long. Uh, Carrying Crow. Last I heard, he didn't. Oh, not fond of prisoners.
Well, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
I think he kind of, as he's like he kind of sails off. Yeah, I love how Castiel's just probably just waving, like waving at this guy's this fucking dirty mariner that's just like fucking been at sea for weeks and weeks and weeks. You know, he's like, bye, weird, scary looking dude. uh, yeah. So what do you guys make of this information? How does this play out here?
I think we should run away. No, that doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, like I
Join
think
his
so.
crew.
You
How
join
would
his crew?
I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
join
let's go say hi to him.
to the to the Rocky Road, the current leader for the Rocky Road, Carrion Crow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'd
I
be
guess
good
we can
on
do
his
that.
side. We have access through that road without no hindrance.
Mm.
that feels very unsafe.
Are you sure? Well, I do agree. Having access to the Rockies definitely makes me more. But then again, I suppose that having access to a carrier might be fun too.
Right. Um, I mean, how would we just go stay high? Like,
Well, it might not necessarily go down like that. We have a better chance of going to say hi in the Rockies.
right.
I at least know some of those people.
Yeah, I know some too. This new group, this isn't, these aren't my people. I really don't want to get stuck on someone's ship working for them for free. That that doesn't sound fun.
You know.
Um, I I've got so much stuff here. I'm gonna start like packing some bags. Like, listen, if you're going, can I come with you?
Uh, yeah, there's just enough room for an extra person.
Um, I have my boat. I have a little boat. I'll just roll with you. How about that?
I suppose if we tie your boat to my boat, that would be working. That way you'd have extra space for all your stuff and you'd still be able to stay on the big boat.
Right, right. And
Sound
then,
good?
yeah, I'm good with that if you guys are good with that.
Mm.
And my boat already has like some amenities because it's designed to be able to go places and like spend the night if I need to, if it's too far from home,
Mm.
and like work on someone else's stuff. So, you know, I can travel a ways. I will eventually have to like
Um. All right. Well, probably gonna wrap up here after a little bit. Anyway, we'll get a few more minutes out, and then because I know you got to get up in the morning, and we were a late
Well, that's
start.
part of it
But
too, but
yeah.
currently my tummy is not feeling quite right.
No, no. I'm sorry to hear that. Um.
It happens.
And I think like maybe we get you guys, sort of like taking off in your ship and what have you, in your ships per se, and you're kind of like, and you're gonna head off to let's see, um, and you're heading towards the rocky roads. All right. Um, and I think maybe like as you guys are sort of like getting farther along, like we get like that montage of the your boat sort of like day and night, and maybe like some random scenes on deck of either ship. You guys doing various things throughout the day, what have you, as day turns to night and back again. Uh, and as we start to kind of like get a little bit further out, like we actually start seeing like the boats that are going in the opposite direction of you guys, like in the distance, that like they're really just sort of like leaving the area. But we also sort of get our like as we get closer to the islands, or well, get farther away from your rig, your workshop, we see that sort of in the distance, we see that there is a number of like there's a number of like what like dots on the horizon heading towards you, and what have you. And as you're like get closer, you see a group of like a group of ragged dressed individuals on jet skis that that they're all like you we can tell that they've all seen a little bit better days. They run, and they run well enough for what they are, but they look like they've seen some shit. Um, and as they're coming towards and heading towards you guys, like maybe it gets closer and closer. Like they're making a beeline. They're on intercept at this point. Um, and as they get close, and they start like they obviously faster and more maneuverable, start like circling you guys, circling both of the ships, going in circles and whatnot. And one of them sort of pulls like just inside of the circle of where the others are just kind of going round and round for forming a perimeter. One of them pulls just past that, facing, and leans up against the and sort of leans forward on like the steering apparatus of the of his jet ski, and looks forward, and he goes, he's like, "State your business. The Rockies are closed. The roads are the Rocky Road is closed."
Hi, how you doing?
He's like, "You're either gonna wanna," he says, "How about we do this? How about you either turn back now, or we take whatever you have of value that you
Well,
have."
before you get too far, I'm Lemmy Pop Stardust, and I fucking trade at the Galarian camp and entertain there. Maybe you've heard of me.
It
You
sounds
have that song Wolf Says the Sun?
it sounds like you are trying to seduce or manipulate someone. Uh,
It's not cool that you think I'm doing?
no, no, it's
I'm
not.
trying to be cool, but alright, I will seduce. Go ahead and roll
um,
that for me, brother. I appreciate it.
so should you tell someone you roll plus hot? So this is a hot roll for you. And I will go ahead and roll that for you. So,
Thank you.
should make sure I've got the right button here. Ooh, that is not good.
Did you roll a one?
Yeah,
Make
rolled a 6 total.
Gentlemen, I knew that when I said Jester roll for me, I was going to roll one.
No, it's not a.
That's how it works.
It wasn't a one, so it was just a. It was still a miss. It was like 2, 3. It was a 2 and a 3 plus one, and made it a 6. Still a miss.
Yeah, that's still not a seven or better.
Yeah.
could I step in and be like, yeah,
Yeah, that's
he's
true. You do have a lot of clout.
right. Yeah, like I'm surprised if you haven't heard of this guy. He's pretty fantastic. Also, hi, I am Starlight Fingertoes. I rebuild shit, and I've done a lot of work for Rocky Road.
So
I'm actually kind of pushing my trade out this direction. And I want to like notice something on one of their CDs where I'm just like, yeah, that you need a new core for this. This is not gonna last you very long. I could help you out.
so I'm gonna make this a two-part roll for you because you actually have a couple of specific things you're doing here. You're looking for something that looks like it's your handiwork. I think that's going to be a sharp roll.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So let me do that one. I didn't find anything.
Okay, and you're trying to manipulate, seduce or manipulate, so that is going to be roll plus hot. If you'd passed the sharp roll, you would have gotten a plus one to this. That is also a miss. He seems relatively unimpressed, and he kind of he's looking a bit bored, perhaps. Castiel, do you want to try anything here? Give you an opportunity as
Yeah,
well.
help us out, Castiel.
Look. This is all we're trying to do. We're trying to make friends, expand our inner circle of people we know. And, you have us out here doing stuff, helping you as you continue the border patrol of this road. And out there, we can help you and then help you here.
All right,
All
so
right, Saul, make your seduce roll, buddy.
yeah,
I need
roll
space.
roll plus hot. Oh my god. Oh god. He did a 4 total. He rolled worse than it. He rolled the worst. Like,
We're going to
Well,
jail.
and I think this is the point where, like, this guy is like, all right, boys, let's just round him up. I will let Carrie and Crow figure out what to do with him. And he,
all right. So I actually have something for that if that happens.
Hmm.
And I look at Castile and I'm like, Castile, man the rotator, which is a pulley system which unleashes the big ass gun that I have on the ship.
all right.
I'm gonna pull out my nine.
All right.
How many people?
And I'm like,
How many people are around us?
uh, you don't want to get on my ship.
And I think, with all things considered and it being 112, this is probably a pretty good stopping place because it leaves us with this
That
little.
is an excellent stopping
Yes,
place.
it leaves you guys with a nice little cliffhanger as what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next? So, um, if you have managed to roll one of your highlighted stats, go ahead and mark experience for that. Um,
What if I
mm,
had to roll it twice? Can I get experience twice?
yes,
That's
You
exciting.
can
that's
level really fast in this game if you
that's
make a bunch of rolls.
that's why beef and flesh and fire just power level like a motherfucker. because he just sought out excuses to use whatever highlighted stat he had. It didn't matter if it was a stat that he wasn't going to succeed at a roll, he still made it a point to make a roll with whatever stat was highlighted. Um, so he power leveled on that. Um, Mark an H1HX with everybody that you interacted with. So if you have a -2 with somebody, you are now at -1. If you had 0, you're at 1, so on and so forth. Um,
I will remember to do that, but it doesn't matter because I chose not to get rid of Castiel, so he still has my leaf.
yep, so your HX is going to be what his is, essentially. Um,
Do we add
But I get +2 to his.
Sorry, what?
sorry, do we add the people that we've interacted with? Or is this HX just for player characters?
No, it can be for it. No, it can be for NPCs. You can add. You
Oh,
can.
nice.
You can add Peg Leg Fred. Um,
Okay.
so Peg Leg is now a contact that you can list on here, and you can set yourself up with one HX with Peg Leg Fred.
Nice.
So.
We're gonna be at -1 experience with whoever this dude is.
Yeah.
That's a quite a strong possibility, I would say.
Well, we all rolled poorly. I mean, that's pretty awesome in itself as far as the game goes.
Right.
Super horrible for the characters.
Well, it certainly created some tension there.
Yeah. I've
It was
got
supposed to be that way.
I've got two holds. Could I have used any of those?
Really, I think the only like ability you have with hold right now would be basic stuff and your one class ability, and showing up with the right tool somewhere is not going to be helpful in this situation.
Right. I was
So,
hoping I could roll well, so I would just have like I could use a hold to pull like a core out of my ass and give it to or like put it on his shit. And be like, there you go, bud. Bye. So
um,
I do I delete those now and put them back to zero holds.
yeah, go for it. Yeah. So, um, so everybody marked experience for that, or HX for that. We'll start with let me pop Stardust. Which character do you think knows Lemmy a little bit better now?
I would have to say Peg Leg Fred. No, no, I'm kidding.
We'll mark an HX for Peg Leg Fred. He gets to mark an HX with you.
Uh,
uh,
I would have to say that probably Star. Dang it, finger toast.
Starlight,
Stardust.
Starlight.
Starlight. See, I
For
knew it was star
Stardust, I have
something.
Starlight.
So so Starlight.
Starlight.
Um, so Starlight, give yourself one more HX with Lemmy Pop and
I
Casti-
already know what I'm gonna do, so it's awesome.
Castiel. Who do you think knows Castiel better at this point?
I'm gonna stick with Lemmy.
All right. So
Oh,
Lemmy,
thanks, man.
there you go. And Starlight, who do you think knows Finger Toes better?
Man, it's probably it's Lemmy.
All right. So Lemmy,
Aw,
well, um,
thanks, guys. It's nice to get to know you better.
right on. With that said, we'll go ahead and do sign offs here, and we'll start with David the gnome. We'll start with Chris here.
Hey, that is also my name, but tonight I played Lemmy Pop Stardust, a show character in the Apocalypse world, which means that I can do cool stuff on guitar, which is something I'm going to do if this turns into a battle next time we play in 2 weeks. episode was brought to you by the ocean because that's what we were surrounded by. Also, tonight's episode was brought to you by Purple Codex, and Purple Codex sells T-shirts at tpublic.com. They are amazing and fantastic, and I'm going to put Scott on the line for tonight and make him do the second half of the Purple Codex. Do it, Scott. Pump that merch.
Uh, they're cool made, like really well, but not ethically made. So they're made epically. Yeah.
I will. Sustained. That last. All right, so not our best Purple Codex, but buy it. Buy your stuff. Okay, and on to Amy Gedden because she's the other girl in the group.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the other girl, and I love it.
Why
Yeah.
can't I be the girl? I'm the only girl here tonight. Why am I not the girl? And I'm like, well, because we just did the Purple Codex commercial. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. I'm totally not being sarcastic, I promise. It's just
Okay.
late, so I sound sarcastic. um, Hi, I'm Amy Gedden. I play Starlight Finger Toes, who did not at all have an opportunity to pick up shit with her toes, and that's the line I've been touting since we started this. I'm a little upset with myself, but that's okay. Uh,
Well, you were working on an engine. I'm sure you were like grabbing wrenches and stuff.
right, right. And in my bio, it says she's super good at scorpion kicks because she's super flexible.
I know. That's what I was laughing about earlier before we started. I was reading that. I was like,
I was trying to get through it quickly, and I feel like I just like failed on it, but that's okay. Um, so this is fun. I feel a little lost, but I am excited to see where the story goes. And also, I want to scorpion kick someone with my gross ass finger toad. They're not gross; they're just long. Uh, and yeah, like I also would like to see what Lemmy's guitar does, and I would like to make improvements on said guitar at some point.
I don't know if I roll well enough. I can make the sound that the dinosaurs heard when the asteroid hit.
he can. That is part of his ability.
That is incredible. I just wanted to get you to shoot fire out of the neck or something. I don't even know.
No, no, he can. He can make the sound that the last whale heard when it sang his last song, and nothing answered back.
Oh my god, that's so
Right?
sad.
That's actually the most heartbreaking one that I can do. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That is so super duper sad.
Right? That
Oh,
one's so Star Trek 4.
yes. Oh, Jesus, yes. Okay, Saturdays, noonish Central Standard Time, I am in Cosmos, which is Pathfinder, and that's my very first Pathfinder game I've ever played. And I'm gonna be real with you, I'm only like 7 pages into the rule book, so we'll see how this goes. I
Okay, did you
cannot
play
wait.
third?
Did I what?
Did you play third edition?
No, I started on fifth, so I'm way
Ooh, okay.
behind. I know,
I
like
was gonna say, as far as it goes, it's simple.
yeah, and it seems good. I'm enjoying it. I'm just worried I'm gonna fuck it up for everybody. And I can't remember my character's name. I think it's Stella, and she's a
Nice.
Duskwalker elf, and she is so sweet and so kind, but also kind of not dead anymore, but also alive. She was dead. She's not dead. Time is weird. And then Monday nights, in Starfinder with all of these wonderful people
I
that
love
are
Visa.
currently on stream. I love Visa too. She's the shit, isn't she? Uh, which is terrible because every character that I play is just a much more obnoxious version of myself. So I'm just being a little narcissistic in this moment. So yeah, so I'm Mesa. I am a Lashunta and an envoy, and sometimes I'm good at being an envoy, and sometimes I'm not good at being an envoy. And I am going to have a Skittermander army, and everybody should tune in for that because shit's gonna happen.
Wow, Skittermander Army. That's terrifying,
Yeah.
but all for the
What
wrong
did you do in your
reasons.
Starfinder game tonight? Oh, I freed the star or the Skittermanders from the vest. What do you mean? I took back vest 3.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
what
it
I
works
told the
that
players.
way.
They were happy.
I liberated them, and now I can call like 100 of them and be like, guys, no, this is the plan. Like this is what's happening.
You don't have the means to defeat the Vescarium. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
No, no, we're gonna do it like through the British Empire. We're just gonna convince them that it's time. They're gonna be
It's
like,
gonna be a whole.
"Really? You
No,
think so? Okay."
I don't think it works that way.
Well, you'll see just how high she can roll in diplomatic titties. So,
Diplomatic titties.
forgot about diplomatic titties until this
God,
moment.
wow.
I'm so glad that's your thing now.
I know. I'm pretty glad too. Like tonight, we were playing a game, and Cyrus was like, "So what happened on Monday?" And my kid was playing a game with us, and I was like, "I can't talk about it right now. I can talk to you about it later, but I can't talk about it right now."
He's like, really?
Like whoa. Like uh nice. Right on. Castiel, how about you do your sign off here?
Okay, Scott, Sight, whatever, pick a name. I don't care. I don't know what I'm doing in this world. I'm just kind of riding along. Anybody gets hurt, I make them feel better. I'm a friendly person. That's all I know. I wave to random people, trying to make more friends. That's what my thought process with this angel character.
Man, as far as it goes, you're a great manager so far. I'm enjoying it.
I enjoy being around you as well.
There you go.
Let's see what else. Okay, so Sunday night when we get more people around, I'll be playing chess in the Ballad of the Menagerie, which will be cool. Because I don't remember what we did last because it's been so long, but we're flying some. I don't know. But when we get back, that'll be fun.
That will be fun because I need like a whole nother group doing the politics for Planet Sci.
Hmm.
Yeah, we
Facts.
were like on that planet.
Yep.
Had 3 tasks, I remember.
Well, you completed. I believe you completed a. You partially completed one, completed the another one, and you have one that you're still working on.
Right, now I remember.
And you also got a message for a potential fourth mission. So, but it was from
Yeah,
off world.
there was
Yeah.
a camera involved. I remember one of them, but whatever. Okay, what else am I in? Oh yeah, I'm on the Monday Fire Strike thing too.
Hello,
Uh,
Xander.
yeah, I play Xander, a little android that is trying to get the rest of these people to understand the importance of finding this device that is going to end all worlds, apparently. But we need to find it, like, soon. The other game is, I think on Tuesday. Oh, what is that one
Mhm.
called? Is Seattle for
Don't
less?
don't Seattle for anything less.
Don't Seattle for anything less. And I play a little decker dude who steps into the matrix and makes things work. Didn't do so well and tried to help everybody do whatever they were. I don't know. I just showed up and I helped them. I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, I think that was everything. Yeah, that's all I'm in. It got smaller.
Oh no.
Now, Xander is also Vasa's fake boyfriend, so that's like a very important part.
The
We
foot.
have not expanded yet.
Yeah, because there's a whole group of people that are from the Vescarium that you guys told where you guys were together, and like never, they they still believe this, or to the extent that, well, some of them still believe this anyways. Some may have seen through it, but at least Bazik, at the very least, and probably Toffa and Squibble, um, still believe this.
Yeah,
Who knows if Ewali or Isaki do, but the rest of them do.
we're just a very independent couple. We go our own ways, come back, I don't know, 3 weeks later.
Right? Just like, hey, how you doing? Like, I don't know. Good to see you. We've been on this ship for weeks on end doing stuff, but we really only ever see each other when it's time to go on shore and we get attacked by something. Weird.
Pass each other in the hallway and wave. Think it's weird.
Hi.
Not cool.
Just like, nice.
I've been a little sidetracked trying to decipher this script, so I bet I neglected the relationship that is or is not real.
I am currently filling the void with Skittermanders. So yes,
uh,
How
Alright.
easy it is to get people addicted to Skittermanders.
Right.
well,
Uh,
Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, and I'm just like, I'm not addicted.
they were made to be ridiculously the cutest little aliens ever.
I mean, they are cute. I bought one.
Huh?
You can buy them?
Yeah, they have them.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Codex has one too.
that.
You go to Amazon and type in Skittermander.
Oh, I thought you meant like in game, and I was like, that's
Mm.
trafficking.
No,
No,
no, not in
it's
game.
free.
Not in game.
I was just very. I got real upset because it was like we just talked about how you blow me out of the airlock if I took one. So
Well, no, no. As far as it goes, I wouldn't let Codex, enslave things to ride on her shoulder. She had to convince Twinkle. If
I'll
you want to come with us, you have to sit on my shoulder, little guy that weighs like 80 pounds.
uh, well, I guess that leaves me. I am the Just a King Zerat. You can catch me here throughout the week. You can catch me here like you did tonight, every other Saturday for the Bitter Ends, our currently Waterworldy style apocalypse. You can catch me here on Monday nights for our flagship show, The Fire Strike. My favorite group, Space Terrorists, Space Pirates, and Never Do Wells. And you can also catch me here on Tuesday nights for Don't Seattle for Anything Less, where I play as Salvo, the cocky elven battle mage. Took me a minute there to remember, and I don't know why. Eventually, we will get our casting situation for Sunday night squared away. When that happens, we will bring back the Ballad of the Menagerie, which is set in the Fire Strike universe, and those characters deal with a lot of the stuff that has been left behind in Captain Zai and Company's past. And with that said, I do believe that is all that we have for tonight. So I think we're going to give you all a hearty good night.
Good
And
night.
good night. And we will see everybody around the channel. Have a good one and stay safe out there.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.